The Three Faces in the Mirror. I never believed in curses until I moved into Blackwick Farm. My husband, Ben, insisted the remote 19th century farmhouse was a steal. A fresh start for the kids, he said, ignoring the way the realtor's smile tightened when we mentioned the price. The property sat at the edge of a dying forest, miles from the nearest town. The walls smelled of mildew and old secrets, and the floorboards groaned like something was trapped beneath them. But the kids, Leela, 8, and Noah, 5, were thrilled by the sprawling fields and the attic full of dusty antiques. I tried to ignore the unease gnawing at me. The first sign came the night we arrived. As I unpacked boxes in the kitchen, I heard Leela giggling in the empty dining room. When I found her, she was staring at the cracked plaster wall, her finger tracing invisible patterns. "Emily says this house is like a maze," she said. "Who's Emily?" I asked, my throat dry. "The girl who lives in the mirror." I laughed it off. Kids have wild imaginations, right? But later, while tucking Noah into bed, he pointed to the closet and whispered, "The lady with the broken face doesn't like it when we close the door." Ben brushed it off. "They're just adjusting," he said, but I noticed he started sleeping with the lights on. Day 7. The nightmares began. Every night, I'd wake at 3:03 a.m. to the sound of scratching, slow, deliberate like fingernails dragging across glass. I'd follow the noise to the hallway mirror, an ornate antique framed in tarnished silver. My reflection would stare back, pale and wide-eyed, until the glass rippled. Then I'd see them, 3 figures standing behind me, their faces blurred and stretched like melted wax. I'd scream, and Ben would shake me awake, insisting I'd been sleepwalking again. But the scratches on the mirror's surface were real. Day 14. I found the box of tapes in the attic. They were labeled in shaky cursive, Blackwick Farm 1987. The first tape showed a family, mother, father, twin boys, filming a birthday party. Cake, balloons, laughter. Then the camera panned to a corner of the room where a little girl in a yellow dress stood silently, her back to the lens. The father's voice turned cold. "Not again. Turn it off." The screen fizzed to static. The second tape was darker. The same family, but older, gaunt. The mother spoke directly to the camera, her eyes hollow. "They're in the mirrors. They want 3. Always 3. Behind her, the wallpaper pulsed, bulging like something was pressing against it. The video ended with a shriek. The third tape was just noise, a low, guttural chanting in a language that made my teeth ache. But in the background, I could hear children crying. Day 21. Noah's drawings became specific. He filled notebooks with sketches of a woman whose mouth split into 3 jagged smiles, her arms twisted into impossible knots. "That's the counting lady," he said. "She wants to play hide-and-seek, but if she finds you, she takes your face and adds it to her necklace." When I asked where he'd heard that, he shrugged. "Emily told me." That night, I heard singing, a nursery rhyme in a child's voice, echoing from the basement. 3 little faces, trapped in the glass, one for the future, one for the past. The third will wait where the shadows run deep, counting the hours till she can eat. I followed the voice, clutching a flashlight. The basement door swung open on its own. The room below was nothing but a dirt floor and a single, floor-length mirror covered by a black sheet. The sheet slid off as I watched. The glass showed my reflection, but behind me stood 3 children, their hands pressed to the mirror's surface. Their eyes were gone, replaced by hollow pits. One of them mouthed, "Help us." Day 28. The previous owner's secrets came out. A librarian in town reluctantly told me about the Blackwick family. In 1923, the wife drowned her 3 daughters in the bathtub, claiming they'd been replaced. She was found days later, dead in the same tub, her skin carved with symbols. The house passed through generations, each family suffering tragedies in sets of 3. 3 suicides, 3 disappearances, 3 stillborn babies. "Some say the mother's still here," the librarian muttered. "She mistakes new families for her own, and she hates being alone." That evening, Leela wandered into the forest. We found her at the edge of a dried-up well, whispering to the dark. Emily says there's a door down there, a door made of faces. When Ben pulled her away, she screamed, "Don't leave them, they'll get angry." Day 35. The knocking started. 3 rapid knocks, every hour on every door and window. Ben's patience snapped. He tore the hallway mirror off the wall, revealing a hidden crawl space. Inside were 3 small skeletons, their skulls cracked open. Nestled among them was a necklace of human teeth. That's when the lights went out. In the darkness, the house came alive. Walls bled black sludge, the air reeked of rot, and the mirrors, God, the mirrors, showed things I can't unsee. The counting lady, her body a patchwork of stolen faces, crawling toward the glass. The 3 girls, their drowned flesh bloated, reaching for my children. Ben grabbed Leela and Noah and ran for the car. I followed, but the front door slammed shut, trapping me. The last thing I saw was Ben's face through the window, wide-eyed, guilty, as he peeled out of the driveway. He never looked back. Day 36. The counting lady's jagged smiles split the darkness, her necklace of faces clattering as she drifted closer. Ben was gone. The kids were gone. But the tapes, the well, the nursery rhyme, pieces of the curse swirled in my mind. I wouldn't let her take my face. Not yet. I lunged for the crowbar Ben had left by the skeletons. The counting lady hissed, her patchwork body writhing like smoke. I swung at the hallway mirror, shattering it. Glass rained down, and for a heartbeat, her form flickered. The mirrors are her anchors. I ran through the house, smashing every reflection, vanities, framed photos, the oven door. The lady's shrieks pierced my skull, but her movements slowed, her edges fraying. In the shards, I saw flashes of the drowned girls, their hollow eyes pleading. "Help me stop her," I screamed at their fractured images. One of them pointed toward the basement. The basement mirror still stood, unbroken, its surface oily black. Behind me, the counting lady materialized, her teeth necklace rattling. 3 sins, she croaked. 3 faces. "No," I spat. "You want 3 sacrifices, but you'll settle for a trade." I gripped the necklace of teeth from the crawl space. The lady froze. The librarian's words echoed. She hates being alone. I hurled the necklace into the mirror. The glass rippled, and the drowned girls surged forward, their skeletal hands clawing at the counting lady. She thrashed, but they dragged her toward the reflection, into it, their faces twisting with vengeance. The mirror exploded. The house shuddered, walls cracking, as if the foundation were collapsing into the earth. I stumbled outside, the forest choking with fog. Ben's taillights glowed in the distance. He'd parked at the edge of the property, engine idling. Leela and Noah sat in the back seat, trembling. Ben's eyes met mine, guilty, terrified. "Drive," I ordered, sliding into the passenger seat. "Mommy, Emily's still in the well," Leela cried. "Emily's gone," I lied, staring at the rearview mirror. Behind us, the farmhouse imploded, the ground swallowing it whole. The fog cleared, dawn broke. We never spoke of Blackwick Farm. Ben left us 6 months later, consumed by guilt. The kids still whisper about mirrors, but the nightmares faded. Last week, though, I found a drawing in Noah's backpack. A woman with 3 smiles standing at the bottom of a well. Scribbled beneath it, she found a new door. I burned the picture. But sometimes, when I pass a mirror too quickly, I see a flicker, a shadow with too many faces, her necklace now missing 3 teeth. And I wonder, what door did she find? The new family moved into the lot where Blackwick Farm once stood. They're building a modern home, all glass walls and polished floors. I tried to warn them. They didn't listen.